Today marks 6 months since Russian authorities arrested Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich on espionage charges.
He is the first American reporter to face these charges in Russia since 1986. Both Gershkovich and the Journal deny the accusations. The U.S. has declared him wrongfully detained, but so far appeals for his release have been denied. Gershkovich faces up to 20 years in prison if convicted.
Well, joining us now is Gráinne McCarthy. She is the chief digital editor at the Wall Street Journal and a colleague of Evan Gershkovich's. So, Gráinne, tell us about Evan, a colleague of yours in the newsroom. Do you know how he's holding up?
Yeah, he seems to be doing okay under the circumstances. He is a very gregarious, outgoing person. He joined the Journal in January 2022, and he was actually based here in the London office and in and out of Russia. So we know him very well, and he appears to be exercising, getting regular exercise despite the conditions. He's reading a lot. We are able to write to him, and he's writing back. So his friends, he's got an incredible group of friends. One of his friends described him to me as a friend magnet. And they have all been incredibly active on both sides of the Atlantic and have worked closely with us at the Journal. So his family is also, they're incredible, and they've been out speaking about Evan this week, and they're in regular contact with him. So it's not a good situation, obviously, but he appears to be holding up.
Gráinne, bring us up to speed on the State Department's latest moves to free him. Where does the case actually stand now?
I mean, the State Department and the Special Envoy Office under the White House and President Biden himself have spoken about this. We believe they're very active and doing everything they can to secure Evan's release and the release of other Americans who are wrongfully detained abroad. We continue to ask for them to do more simply because there's no victory here. There's only one victory, and it's when Evan walks out the door of that prison and gets back to the United States. So we will continue to call on the U.S. government to do more and to do really everything it can.
And I know that the Journal is doing what they can to try and advocate for him. What can you tell us about those efforts?
Yeah, we made a decision in the Journal, at the Journal newsroom 6 months ago, really, when Evan was taken. When Evan was arrested for doing his job, to make as much noise as possible. And that's something we've really held on to over these 6 long and some really difficult months. We are very active on social media as across the newsroom. We try to find every way to keep Evan's name out there, to keep him very present. Evan is a person. He is not, he may be a political pawn in this process, but he is a person. He is a all-American boy, as his mother describes him, born and raised in New Jersey. It was a very, very touching tribute to him at his high school this week, Princeton High School. He captained the soccer team there in 2009 to state championship. His former coach, who knows Evan incredibly well, described him as coming from the soccer gods. And, so there was a really moving event for him at his alma mater in Bowdoin College in Maine as well this week. So we believe staying active and keeping his name prominent and speaking about him is really valuable, and it's really valuable for his family. And it also keeps his name front and center for the U.S. government.
Gráinne McCarthy, thank you so much for taking the time to share that with us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.